Hey everybody, welcome back. It's time for Bike Club. D&D, Curse Strahd, we're here. It's been a little while. It's good to see you all. I still never have intros for these. I just never good. Yeah, should we do plugs? Wow. Don't at me. I'm a professional.
Very much so.
Most professional of them.
Okay, plugs.
Lydia, you go first.
We have flyers now.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah. Vault games. Play with me in Edinburgh. Go chase the ghosts with me. Or get stabbed by me. That is also an option. Playing underground D&D in haunted 18th century vaults every last Friday of the month. You can do that, and you can also rent the vaults for your own D&D game if you have a special holiday planned and you want to play at a special place. Come to us, Edinburgh Mercat Tours Underground Vaults. Link in the chat.
Rent it out now.
That's very cool.
Okay. I'm gonna tweet a link for a charity, Tahere. So they work for equal rights, and they do a lot of social justice work. And right now they're working on the issues with the American border, which is kind of a fucking massive problem. You may have heard about it. I specifically like them because they work a lot to keep families united before all this stuff was happening, and they've been working on it for a long time. And they also really work with educating women in impoverished groups so that, you know, everybody's raised up. So I'm going to tweet a link for that to donate to them. And then plugs for me personally, Hex Wives was announced, I think, since we last had the game.
It's on my list now.
It was announced like a few hours after the last time.
Okay, yeah. So that's my first Vertigo book. I'm so excited. The art is really cool and really fun. And I like the story a lot. I'm very excited. And then that'll be out in October. Then there'll be other books announced in October that are very exciting that you probably know me from. Let's just say books that haven't been made in a while are coming back, and there'll be new issues of something coming out in October.
That's a damn teaser right there.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you could mean by that.
Then let's see.
People in the know probably do. But
Yeah, people will figure it out. There's the Ghost in the Shell. You can still get that. And then what was the other thing? Mysticons. There's gonna be more Mysticons, and there is a bunch of stuff I can't announce. Okay. And I'll be at Thought Bubble, so if you want to get commissions from me, I'll start opening a list for that soon. That's enough shit.
So yeah, just to piggyback on that, Thought Bubble, we're all going to be there. Marissa's going to be actually there, but we'll be visiting. So if you're in the Leeds area in September, or you're coming in, say hello to us, because we would really like that. And then also, Lydia, Stu, and I are going to be in London next week. On Wednesday, we are going to be at Leisure Games at 6 p.m. for a event where there'll be like charity signings and fun stuff, and you know, all sorts of really good stuff to raise money for good causes and the like. So you should join us there next week if you are London adjacent or London is accessible to you. Every Monday we also have Kurian, an adventurous tale on this channel. You should watch that. Also, they're all up on YouTube, as well as Bike Club, which previous episodes are on Bike Club. And starting today, my playthrough of Vampire is also on YouTube, where you can hear me lisping through a very good game that was made for me. Well, it wasn't actually, but it feels like it was made for me. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for plugs, right?
Yeah.
Jamie, you got anything?
If you get the chance, go see Foo Fighters. Other than that, not really.
I'm sure the Foo Fighters will appreciate the ad boost we can give them.
I know. It's. I mean, and every little helps.
Every little helps. Yeah.
Get the check into Dave Grohl.
Yeah. What you mean, my adopted father? I still hope for that
Does
one day.
he know?
I mean, not yet.
22 years ago, a lock of Dave Grohl's hair mysteriously went missing.
It wasn't the musical talent part, that's for sure.
No.
Oh. Anyway, without further much ado, shall we get into this D&D business?
Let's.
Do you not into it this week? No.
I'm not feeling
No.
it.
Oh well, tough shit.
Oh,
So, when last we left our heroes, you had just been caught by the abbot in the cellar of his very, very spooky abbey. After a very intense combat in which Meryl flexed some rope skills that I'm sure we all regret knowing that she has, the abbot was
Wait,
defeated.
Hold up. Oh, what? She just tried to tie him up.
Yes, she did tie him up, Stu. Yes, she
This
did.
is where the innocent boy is innocent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she tried to hang him.
No. Stu needs some pictures.
No. Whatever you're selling, I ain't buying.
The abbot was defeated. He was not killed, however. He was left in the cellar as the gang escaped. On the way, Meryl rescued Vasilka, who is a flesh golem that the abbot was going to give to Strahd as a bride. You made an escape back into the village of Kresk, where you snuck out under the cover of night. Oh no, sorry, you stayed in the inn, and then you left very early in the morning, leaving a note for the Kreskovas that their son was alive.
Gordon's alive.
So, you made your way back to Vallaki. You had spoken with Irina, and determined that the best place that she could stay was now with the Martikovs, seeing as the Kresk escape plan hadn't quite gone to plan, as it were. You made your way back to Vallaki. There were no major catastrophes on the way. Vasilka learned how to communicate on a very basic level. And Kerchak and Irina had some fighting. It was very cathartic and healthy for the both of them. Nonetheless, a few days later, you arrived back at the gates of Vallaki, and you saw that the town outwardly didn't quite look as you left it. There had been wolf heads speared onto great stakes around the town, and when you got here, there weren't any. It had all been cleaned up, and inside the town walls, you could hear the sounds of a festival. And that is where we left it. So, you stand or sit on your cart before the front gates of Vallaki. Is there anything you want to do?
A guard approached us, right, previously? And
Yes,
was
my
like,
bad.
who goes there sort of thing.
Yes.
And I just want to say, because I think I'm the only one in the group that doesn't look like a psychopath.
You say that with your shadow?
What? I am a one, but I don't look
You
like
look like a boglin.
I have furs and
Rahal does not
have
look like a
bathed
boglin.
recently.
I imagine Rahal caked in about 6 inches of dirt all over the
I
front
have
wall
bathed
matted.
recently, like 7 days is recently.
That's gross. All right, Henry VIII.
Off with his head.
I just want to say to the guard, we bring news from Kresk and a confirmation to the Martikovs of their delivery of wine.
Right names.
Volgus Everhall, Monster Hunter.
Rest of you?
I just stare at him for a while.
Rahal, that's Kurtchak, he does that.
Alright. Stay here a minute.
I'm Meryl, and this is my son, Piddlywick. And this is my wife, Vasalka.
Just
Oh,
not making things better. If did she? Are you okay with that, Vasilka?
Vasilka just kind of blinks.
Yeah, see him.
Don't pull Strahd on that poor woman.
Psst, if you're typing, can you mute, please? Okay, so, the guard, tells you to wait a moment as he disappears inside a small guardhouse for a moment. I'm gonna stop saying a moment. He returns a couple of seconds later and, waves you through as the doors begin to open. As they do, you can hear inside that there appears to be quite a few people gathered. This gate and this street lead you through to a main town square, where you can see there's been stalls set up with food on it and like barrels of wine that bear the mark of the Martikov's vineyard on it. There are children running around, playing with balls and flags and stuff. There's decorations around. You've no idea where these things came from, because when you last saw Vallaki, it was kind of like run down, and this wasn't the decoration that you'd seen previously with the Festival of the Blazing Sun. This stuff seems kind of new, but the bunting is not like blue and yellow. It's not bright colors. It's red and black.
Strahd chic.
There's hints of silver.
I don't see how that's a bad thing. But yeah.
And you see that there is in the town square where the statue was, there's rubble. And in its place...
The statue was of the Burgomaster, the Baron, right?
It was of someone of his family line. It wasn't him.
Right, yeah. Okay, it was one of the...
It was one of the Vallakoviches.
Yes. Perkins.
You see now that there is rubble. It has been leveled. And its remains just linger in the pool around the bottom. The head almost propped up to be displayed. And in its place, there's a standard, a long pole, and flying from it is a sigil you're familiar with. You've seen it on a wax seal. This is the sigil of the von Zarovich family.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's gonna be maybe a problem.
That's alright, none of us were planning on staying here, right? I mean, you two kind of lived here. Sorry.
Oh, we did think about leaving Irina with a or in the vineyard. Did we say in the vineyards?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, cool.
Yes, but nowhere is safe from him, particularly.
Well, apparently this was safe before we lost the bloody bones.
Hmm.
I think it was just the church, though. I think the unfortunate death of the Well, Burgomaster is the true cause of this town.
You don't know that it wasn't the Burgomaster that was killed.
Right, but I can extrapolate from...
You can extrapolate whether or not that's accurate or not.
Yeah, it seems from Volgus's point of view, the fact that all effigies of him have been destroyed and different people are in charge, and he does know that Izek was killed.
I think everybody knows Ezek was killed at this point.
And he's
Wait,
not-
what? Really? Ah, spoilers.
Says the man holding his axe. Okay, shush this away, Jamie. You murderer.
I didn't do the
Right, though.
murdering. I mean, I
You
did.
participated. You chopped his arm off.
I just held him.
It was a flesh wound.
I just held him. That's not better. Monsters. Anyway,
He was done in a round. Like, never mind.
He wasn't around for very long.
Yeah, round.
I am horrified. Anyway, as you enter, you see people. People are certainly paying attention to you. And some people stop and whisper to each other. And there's a few audible as you pass. And as you make your way into the square, you can see just beyond the fountain is a makeshift stage that's been erected. And upon it, you can see two chairs. Two rather ornate chairs. Thrones, one may say, though not quite as ornate as thrones. Otherwise, you are unimpeded. Where would you like to go? What would you like to do?
To the Nautical's tavern, I presume?
Yes,
Mhm.
immediately.
Head towards the Blue Water Inn?
Yes, that's
Mhm.
it.
I do not like this.
Okie dokie. So you make your way to the Blue Water Inn, and it takes some time. You do have to make your way around festival goers. The streets are busier than you've probably seen them. It's about as busy as the night that, the day before Davalan escaped from the Wicker Sun. But you make your way there soon, and you see that the Blue Water Inn seems quite quiet. Especially for this time of day. We're reaching about midday now as you get here. It's quite unusually quiet.
There are people in there, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
like one or two dotted about.
okay. It's not just been like abandoned.
No.
Okay.
You can see Danica cleaning tables through the doorway.
I will go in to see and speak to Danica immediately.
Okay. She immediately, as you enter, she immediately drops the rag she's using to clean the table. She moves over to embrace you.
I reply in kind.
How are you?
We're fine. We're good. We're alive. How are you? What's happened?
Oh, well, Lady Vakta made a move.
Yeah.
You have no doubt noticed the festivities, shall we say.
We have when we've seen the seal. She's not even trying to deny it, is she?
No. The
Was there
Vakta
a-
clan have been loyal to the Von Zaroviches for a long time.
And what about yourself? Are you safe? As safe as can be in this town?
Yes. For now, at least. We provide the wine.
Good, because we have a favor to ask of you.
Again.
What is it?
The abbot was dangerous. Very dangerous. And so Arena is still with us, but it's not safe to travel with us. Would she be safe with you, perhaps at the vineyard?
Take her to the vineyard, or Erwin can take her on the next trip. She can't stay here, not with Fiona.
No.
She will hand her over.
Yes, but the vineyard's far enough out of town that prying eyes wouldn't.
Yes, and secluded. We don't get visitors.
Good. And I'd imagine that it's open enough around there that you'd see people coming and could sequester people away before.
Yes, yes.
Right.
And with the recent attack, well, we are more prepared this time.
Good.
I will speak to Erwin, but yes, we'll take her.
Thank you. I'll try and put an end to this, but so far everything that we could work towards, every one that was supposed to help us, has turned out to be, well, let's just say, not quite as helpful as we pictured,
Not everyone, though.
except for you. Thank you for that.
There are a few of us. Actually, speaking of which, and you hear footsteps from upstairs, and then leaning over the balcony, you see a tumble of black curls as Esmeralda leans down and says, "Oh, hello. Where have you been?"
Here, there, and everywhere.
Everywhere. Really?
Well,
That was creepy.
a little bit.
Kresk.
Why did you go there?
It was thought that the abbot who gives sanctuary. Turns out that that's the last thing he can do.
Hmm.
Did you know he's an angel?
He's a what?
Yeah, he's an angel.
Deva, he called himself.
Oh.
Not in the rightest of minds, though.
I mean, it's Barovia.
Oh, I know that.
Is Vasilka with us?
I don't know. Has Meryl joined you? It's that smile. I get worried every time that smile happens.
Worried and excited.
It's just my face, you guys. Yeah, I'm with y'all.
Yeah, I want to have Vasilka step forward or step aside so Esmeralda can see Vasilka.
Who's that?
Vasilka. She has a lot to learn. She was made.
By the abbot, I assume.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For... Nope. I don't
Don't-
want to know. No.
it's exactly what you're picturing.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Been there.
No.
Might as well join us in the hall.
Mm. I think I threw up a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
Ugh, that's vile.
do you think Vasilka could go with Irina as well? What are you? I mean, we kind of took her with us because she couldn't stay there.
Danica sort of sighs and she takes Vasilka's hand. And she kind of recoils for a second because it's ice cold. And she kind of clocks the stitching around her joints and her neck. And she doesn't look revulsed. She looks sad. Looks pitiful. And she takes her, she brushes the hair away from her face and says, "We'll look after you." And Vasilka just kind of, she's got a very confused look on her face. She's not quite sure what's happening. And she looks to you guys with her brows furrowed. Almost like asking, like, is this okay?
Vasilka, do you want to travel with us or do you want to go with her and sit in safety?
It is not safe with us. And these are good people. They will watch after you, I promise.
But adventure with us.
I elbow Meryl in the side.
She kind of looks between the two of you. And she goes to stand at the side of Danica, but you notice that her fists sort of clench. And she looks at Meryl, and there's a hint of a smile as she kind of nods. But she stays at Danica's side.
Oh, okay. You can learn to fight with them, and then you protect everybody at the vineyard.
And you see that her smile now grows And she gives a very firm nod.
Wonderful. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. That sounds like this could actually work and turn out well for once.
And at this point, Esmeralda, she's disappeared from the balcony for a moment. And you hear now as she begins to make her way back down towards you guys. But you also hear a second set of feet on the boards above you. And Esmeralda goes, I brought a friend. Someone you should meet. And she gestures, she goes, Zuleika. And you see before you, you see a woman, and she has dark skin, and her clothes are simple and ragged at the edges. Her hair is kept in braids, pulled away from her face. And she has a very, like, bright, aware look to her face. Like, her eyes search all of you individually. And you see that she's kind of always on the balls of her feet, as if she's ready to move at a moment's, without hesitation. And she sort of goes, "Hey."
Hi.
All right.
She goes to Esmeralda. Esmeralda kind of looks at her and she goes, "So, this is Zuleika. Zuleika, this is Rahal, Volgus, Kerchak, Meryl, new person, and Irina." And she goes, "So, Zuleika needs our help." And at this point, Zuleika goes, I suppose I do." And she steps forward and goes, "Esmeralda trusts you. She's a fucking idiot. So I'm not sure if I should trust you, but she does."
Seems like a sensible woman.
Mm.
I've heard things about you lot.
Good things, I hope.
No, mostly bad, to be honest. But the circles I run in, bad things about you guys, means ultimately good things. Listen, my brother has been taken by Strahd. I can't prove it, but I know he hasn't.
Any particular reason why?
We're werewolves.
Okay.
That's awkward.
Interest is now peaked.
I put my hand on Kerchik's shoulder. Really high.
No.
Right. Oh.
I thought the werewolves were loyal to the Zoroviches.
Mostly.
And what makes you different?
What he has done to my pack is unforgivable.
Just... Hold up. Did your pack split long ago to two separate factions?
Not necessarily split. There is some divide, but no physical split. We still live together.
Black wolf and a white wolf?
There are different fur colors, yeah.
I was sort of just saying that to myself.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean,
So as you may have gathered, not all of us are entirely loyal to our master. And she says that through, like, clenched teeth. Emil, my brother, was the nearest contender to leading the pack. Now that's a problem for both the pack and for Strahd. So when I returned home one day from hunting and he's gone, then that's the only thing I can extrapolate from that.
See.
He takes him. Where does he take him? The castle?
The dungeons. I know exactly where he is.
Seems oddly merciful.
Do you know what he does to people he wants to toy with?
Yes.
Do you really? Because I've had to take people there. I've seen what he's done to people in those dungeons.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. So I know exactly where Emil is. But I can't go alone.
When was he taken?
About a week or so ago.
How long do they usually last?
It depends. Typical male, typical humans. A few days. Could be years if he wants to keep them as a ladder.
I feel horrible that I know what that means.
But Emil's tough. And thanks to our curse, he can withstand a lot more than your average man. For better and for worse. I can just see Jamie there in the bottom corner with a huge fucking smile on his face.
Wolf boys are the best boys.
I mean, yeah.
Honk honk.
You alright, Lydia?
No, nothing. I'm never alright when Marissa says words. We were told about this meeting. I look at Kerchuk, remember?
We were.
The fortune teller? You got excited then when she mentioned werewolves.
I have no idea what you
Okay,
mean.
fair enough. You probably didn't listen to another word afterwards, did you?
I have no idea what you mean.
Yeah.
I remember the fortune teller. Do agree.
He says as he frantically flips back in his notes.
One who will help us against him.
Yes.
A female werewolf. I mean, I say that out of character. Like, I'm don't. Like, just
Yeah.
the one who will help us. Just.
Just imagine you with the piece of paper going, a female werewolf. In front of Zuleika.
A werewolf holds a secret hatred. Use her hatred to your advantage.
Well, it's a sign.
Rolgus wasn't there for the tower reading.
No, you were not.
No.
I'm in.
So am I.
Mulgus, is your fate still aligned with ours, or are you seeking your own path? I won't blame you if you do.
I think this is an amicable goal. And I believe we should do it. But I don't think we're ready.
Okay, do you have a suggestion? Or are you just pointing that out?
Training montage. Jesus Christ!
Time's up.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That. Oh my God! What is that?
Let me try to mute myself.
That just terrified me.
That's a legit old
So
I'm not
phone.
surprised. I don't know. I'm not surprised that she has an old phone.
Yeah, can we just...
Oh my God! It has that.
For the podcast, who wants to describe it?
It's blue. Is there a dial? Like, is there?
Yeah, is it a dial one?
Yes.
Oh my God!
Spectacular.
Oh. Oh.
I don't think anyone's surprised, really.
No?
Nope. That's amazing.
I mean, deaf, yes, because.
I'm so sorry. It's like
It's okay.
it's like you're right near the microphone.
Okay, so
I remember what the elf said.
Elf.
The place I don't want to go.
What?
Okay.
What
Oh.
brought upon this change of heart?
Change of tune.
A couple of days ago, we saw what is supposed to be the holy manifestation of good as an evil. And, well, I'm not changing my ways, but I've realized that I can't make other people change theirs either. And you seemed interested in that. That's your bargain, that's your bargain. I don't support it, but if you do want to help this land like you do, and that's the way you think you'll do it, do it. Or go die in a dungeon. I'm fine with either, really.
There I was wondering he was a completely different person, but no.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
No, I meant I'm fine with either. Like,
Oh.
me dying in a dungeon or dying in a temple, you know, it's 6 of 1.
Well, let's not forget, there's also that little witch hag problem thing that you have.
That may be a bit of a personal bias for going to the swamp, yes.
Yeah.
When I say a bit, I mean I prefer to expedite that.
Well, which way are these dungeons, and can we do it all on the way?
There is one person being tortured. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe that
exactly.
takes priority.
That's what I'm thinking, or at least if one thing is potentially on the way, that'd be great. But if not, someone's life is currently in the balance.
How would it be? What would it look like pathwise? Would it be a huge detour to go to the
See,
temple?
you guys know that Castle Ravenloft is all the way east, and this place is southwest of where you are. You guys are basically in the middle of Barovia, the country, right now.
And the hag?
The hag is southwest.
Southwest as well.
How long do you think your brother could hold out?
Long time.
How long do you think he'd be okay with holding out? How long would you be okay with him holding out?
Well, if I know Emil, he'd probably take it as a point of pride how long he held out.
I respect that.
Obviously, I'm not going to leave him there to rot for months, but a few days won't matter.
Fair play.
He's not going to bite your brother, I assume. Lycanthropy, probably not best for him to contract as a vampire.
No, there's no point. A vampire can't turn a werewolf can't turn a vampire.
Right, and a vampire can't feed on a werewolf either, I'd imagine.
Oh, you can.
Oh. I thought that maybe, two different curses will cancel each other out.
No. Look, if I know Strahd, and Irina kind of flinches a bit as his name said, if I know him, he's keeping Emil as an example. A warning to the rest of us.
Does that mean there's a chance that he might parade him out?
Most likely.
And that won't happen until he's beaten a bit.
Mm-hmm. I've seen this kind of thing happen before.
I know it seems kind of heartless to say, but perhaps it is better to wait then. Wait until he's brought out. It means we don't have to go delving into a dungeon right under the nose of Strahd.
It's not a terrible idea.
Perform better out in the open. Flames scorch everyone in corridors.
That place is a labyrinth. Those dungeons are designed to be difficult.
I've heard nothing but terrible tales.
It's a dungeon.
And it would still be an example, but an example to Strahd not being quite so invincible.
Exactly. If we take his parade piece from him, then we can't continue the conversation right now.
Ooh.
Those eyes.
Yell angrily in German.
I'll talk softly in German.
Scheiße.
Wow, bringing such foul language right now. How could I?
Krankenwagen.
What? Do you need an ambulance?
Yeah, always.
Are you okay?
Where's the comment?
Oh, no.
Oh, you're muted.
No, muted.
No, I didn't
Oh.
realize. I thought you were still talking and shit. So I'm
No,
like, I'm
it's all
sorry. Everything.
No.
That was the flatmate. Hi.
It's cool. It's fine. It's fine.
What did I miss?
This is like just a chill, informal thing, you know. It's fine.
It's not like people are watching.
No, it's fine.
Sorry.
So yeah, it'll be an example that Strahd can be defeated or embarrassed at least. I mean,
sometimes those things are one and the same.
granted, pissing him off like that, probably not ideal, but he has my
So
brother.
satisfying though.
We are sort of planning on killing him. I think that would piss him off even sooner or later. We would.
Yeah.
When
Esme
people,
told me that.
I mean,
when
And as
people-
she says Esmeralda slaps her. She's like, don't.
Noted.
when people in despotic positions of power get frustrated and aggravated, they act irrationally, which can often be the opportunity you need to slip the knife in.
Yeah.
Also makes them dangerous, but
yeah, Sun Tzu has a point.
They're despotic. They're already dangerous. It comes with the territory.
Bit of a difference between a mad king and a centuries-old vampire, though.
I've only ever known centuries-old vampires, so
Ah, well. She was right.
So we're
I'm
going
fucking
to-
stupid enough to do this.
well, I wasn't born here. I'm gonna try not to die here, but
Let's just go to the swamp.
Alright then. So, I'll wait here. You guys come back from the swamp, whatever it is you're doing. I'll see
Oh,
what I
you don't
can...
want to go murder people in the swamp with us?
No.
Oh no, matted fur.
Bit rude to talk about other people's fur, if you wouldn't mind.
yeah, Vulgus.
Yeah,
That's
Vulgus.
cool.
Oh, I forgot that
Ooh.
was phrases I never thought of here.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to take a pass on the swamps. I'll stay here, I'll find out what I can. I'll try and bait him out.
Don't tear out too many throats.
Only those that deserve it.
Actually, I don't care. Tear them all out.
I was gonna suggest the ones that deserve it, but you beat me to it, so fair play. Swamps then.
Swamp.
Now we're doing the hag first, or are we going towards the other thing first?
We were told that the temple lie on the other side of the swamp. The hag is in the swamp.
Let's go through the hag, literally.
I need some more rope.
We'll get you some more rope.
Thank you.
Here, take mine. I will give you 50 foot of rope.
I think Susie needs a moment.
Of 10.
I'm okay.
Is there any chance in this town to get healing potions? We had one, and we seen one, and it was like super expensive. But
there is.
I've been kind of pharmacying all the bites, and it's just maybe something for myself when I get down.
You can certainly ask Danica if there's anything in town that she knows of.
I will. Yes. Danica. If we go to the swamp, if we want to survive, a bit of portable health would be good. Do you know of any place that sells something useful?
Well, Lady Vagta has everything locked down. If it's not of preparation for her big festival, then no. But I did snag these. And she ducks behind the bar and she pulls out 4 bottles, healing potions, and hands them to you.
You are gorgeous. My God. Thank you. Thank you. And I take them and hand it out. I'm assuming everyone will take one.
I'll have one to give to someone.
I mean,
Oh,
I'm
it-
not.
it
I
happens
mean,
again.
I don't want to force you to take one
I'm sorry.
I don't know why you're sassing me.
because you sounded like it was a burden.
No, I was
Thank,
saying I'll have
thank
one.
you to the nice lady
I
who
will,
Thank you
helped
to
us
the nice
entirely
I
too
will
much.
take one in case you go down.
Thank you,
That's what I was doing.
Meryl.
I'll take one.
With that shit-eating grin, I'm not sure I'm liking it.
Here, Piddlywick, go feed this to Rahal.
Actually, at this
Do I
point,
want to die?
Piddlewick is kind of just playing amongst the tables in the inn. And like Meryl, every now and then you'll notice that he's hiding behind a table leg, and as you look at him, he goes, and sticks out. And so goes,
So cute.
I actually want to just quickly look around and hand Danica the water skin with the Ivalis river water we took from the the abbey. Like it's nowhere near your gift, but a little bit of uncorrupted, unspoiled nature perhaps will help in these dark days.
She gives you like a really warm smile, and you see almost like tears come to the corners of her eyes. She's, thank you. You don't know how much this means.
I have a hunch. And yay.
And you see as Esmeralda and Zuleika have got themselves a little table and they're having a drink, sat quite close to each other, talking amongst themselves. Is there anything you else want to do in here?
No. I do want to say out of character though, because Volgus doesn't know this, but you two do in character, that one of the other cards mentioned a marsh, and that the master of the marsh knows of whom I speak. A kneeling woman, a rose of great beauty plucked too soon. The master of the marsh knows of whom I speak. And that was a weapon.
Basically, one of your cards is the swamp also.
The swamp.
Because we're good at remembering about these artifacts that we've had for months now.
I wrote
Trying
them
to
down.
remember where I wrote them all down.
I wrote them down. I made sure to ask you about them weeks ago.
That was Kerchik's, actually.
That was Kerchak's
Mm.
I
stab.
mean, I'm not gonna point fingers, but
Oh no, by all means.
How much intelligence does Kerchak have?
It's a good solid 10, so
Oh, well,
He's not an idiot.
he's average intelligence.
Smarter than Meryl.
That's not really saying much, though.
no, it really.
Piddlewick is smarter than Meryl.
Whoa!
Wow.
Oh.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so you guys are in the inn. Irina takes Vasilka. Irina takes Vasilka by the hand, and she leads her upstairs so they can find a room and get themselves settled for the time being.
Just before they go, I just want to, as she goes to leave, just grab her by the shoulder and just say, "Good luck."
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you all so much for everything. I don't think I'll ever be able to repay what you guys have done for me.
You don't need to.
Well, stay safe.
And you.
I'll see you all soon, yes?
Yes.
All right.
We'll make sure to check on you when we get back.
Okay, take care. And she disappears off upstairs with Vasilka.
Okay.
So you've stated that you're going to leave, right? That's
Yeah.
out loud. That you're heading towards the swamps.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, and also what I said to Arena just then,
Mhm.
I said that of earshot of everyone else.
Okay. Well, as you get your stuff together and you make your final preparations to leave the Blue Water Inn, Danica actually says to you, she pulls you all aside and says, "There's no getting out of Vallaki today.
what do you mean?
The festival. They are literally closing the gates. You can't leave."
What kind of festival is that where you're locked into a city?
Welcome to Vallaki.
What kind of special event means that you can't leave? I dread to want. God, we're gonna find out, aren't we?
Gonna burn another person?
I've heard that there is a special guest of honor.
Oh, joys!
No guesses for who that is.
How much would I know about this festival since I live in this town?
You would know absolutely nothing about this festival because this is brand new. This is because Fiona Vakta has seized control. Beforehand, you've always lived under the Valakoviches. And before these guys turned up in town, there'd been a series of mandatory festivals, like 2 a week, that this guy had been throwing, because you would know that he believed fun kept the darkness out. So he had these mandatory fun festivals every other week. This, from what you gathered, seems more like a coronation of sorts. This is Fiona Vakta going, "I am the big I am in this place now. Bow before me."
Is there any other way out? The one that's not so watched?
I don't know.
Would I know?
Both of you roll me intelligence checks.
Great. 16.
16, right?
9.
Vulgus, you have no clue.
I've always operated above the law.
Of course you have. Meryl, you know about a few, like 1 or 2 little places that you might be able to sneak out of. There's, for example, just beyond the north of town, there is an area of the wall that is a bit more pliable than perhaps it should be. And not that you've ever snuck out at the top of the town at nighttime or anything for anything.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like me.
No,
Nope.
you would never.
Well, I'm just gonna keep playing with Piddlewick and keep my mouth shut for a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, while this conversation's going on, In terms of the actual gates in and out of town, like how big, how heavy, what like is there any sort of obvious mechanism to open and close them?
So from what you've observed of the town gates, they are big wooden doors with iron bands across them, operated by usually by someone pulling them from the other side, and reinforced with big wooden heavy bars on the inside. They're made of thick solid wood, and they're like wide enough for 2 carts side by side, so they're pretty wide and pretty tall. And the you know that at the top of them is like a walkway that goes along the walls.
So just out of for the sake of, if I were to think maybe I wanted to open the gate and walk out, is that something that feasibly could happen if the guards weren't around?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could try.
I just like to know that.
If there were no
Just in
guards,
case.
you could pop maybe, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what are you gonna do to this town?
I'm just- I'm-
murder there.
No, I was thinking like, hey, maybe they can just conveniently not be there for a little while, or be asleep, or be rendered asleep somehow. Not necessarily dead.
The eternal sleep.
Is there an eternal
The
sleep?
sleep
in
of the
Barovia?
grave, perhaps?
Yeah.
So, what's the plan, guys?
Do we know anything about this festival? Like
Is
a time for the things to actually start? A place? I assume those thrones.
the wall made of stone or is it a wooden?
Wooden walls.
Okay.
They're like heavily reinforced wooden palisade walls.
It'd be so much easier if it was stone.
I know.
God damn it! Why don't they have better technology?
I could just be like, I'll just move this aside. There we go. Walk through and then close it shut.
But Kechek, you get the feeling that this guest of honor is probably going to arrive in the evening. If it is who you think it is, he's probably
I'm
not
just-
going to be out in midday.
I was just
Right.
like,
What?
because we were, who was it that we were talking to before we left? Just then,
Danica.
Danica, that was it. Yeah, I was just wondering if Danica actually, if the people were told like, at this time, be here.
It was more of a whole, you just have to be around and you can't get out. But you should come to the town square kind of thing, you know. They're not being threatened, but they're being threatened, you know? And you can see that, like, the way Danica's dressed, she's dressed quite smartly. Like, she's got some of her best clothes on. As a local business owner, she probably should make an appearance.
Right.
What time is it now? It's midday now.
Yeah, it's just after midday at this point. We're getting to, like, 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
How long is the walk to the swamp?
It will be at least a day's travel. Probably 2. My map is hidden currently. God dang it.
I believe it was. You said it was a couple of days prior.
So all my companions forgot that I'm from this town.
I mean, haven't forgotten. I just haven't had anything to ask about the town.
Okay. Well then, all right. I'm gonna go check on my apartment.
Okay. you
Bye.
you head back to your house that you had secured, and you can see that the when you arrive, your front door has been smashed open,
Oh, son of a mutt.
and basically your house has been turned upside down. You didn't have a lot in there anyway. Your furnishings were quite sparse.
Did they do my dishes for me at least?
They did not. Those son of a bitches left those dishes in that sink. So inconsiderate.
Can't believe they've done this.
I know, it's horrible.
But is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Can I tell what they were looking for, or are they just fucking up my shit?
It looks like it was just like looting. So your bed is gone. Your furniture, your chairs are gone.
Okay.
Yeah, just it's like stuff people need, they've just taken.
Okay, but it wasn't like they weren't looking for anything of mine.
No, it's not like it's been ransacked looking for anything in particular now.
Okay. Well, then I'll just have to get a new bed, I think. Did anyone come with me to my apartment? Just me and Piggly-Wink, right? Piddlewick.
I don't know. Did anyone go with you? No.
I mean, you were keeping pretty quiet about the other things, so I don't know if you announced you were going.
No, I would probably stay put and not go with.
All right.
Hmm.
I would I mean, if asked, yeah, but why? No, I am just no.
We're used to Marissa just wandering off.
Yeah,
Hey.
She'll just come back with someone new.
and more rope.
This is my new wife.
I've adopted more children. They're
Comes
equally
back
as creepy
with
as my
rape
old
back.
ones. Look, a gremlin, isn't he cute?
It would be cute.
Needs a bath. Seems hungry.
Look, a pit fiend. He's just misunderstood.
Look, I have compassion in my heart.
I get it, Marissa. I'm there with you.
Since I don't have a bed, I'll go back with those people.
On your way back, I would like you to roll me a perception check, if you wouldn't mind.
Let me double check that. It's 14.
14. Okay. You're making your way back to the Blue Water Inn, and you've lived in Vallaki for a long time, so you know the shortcuts. And as you're headed down an alley, you hear footsteps behind you, heavy footsteps in the mud, and you hear a splash of a puddle. And they seem to be approaching quickly.
Let me duck into another alleyway and hide for a minute.
Okay, so you duck into another alleyway. Roll me a stealth check.
Oh, that's so close. 10.
10. Okay, you duck into another alley and you hide behind like a crate that's been put there. But unfortunately, your hat is sticking out over the top. And you look over and you see a large man who kind of stops for a second and he double takes and then he spots your hat and he rushes towards you and goes, "Oi, you!
Hello!
You're Meryl, aren't you?"
Yes. Who are you?
I recognize that fucking nose anywhere.
Hey, don't be rude to me. Do
You
your mom
owe
ever
me
teach
50
you-
gold.
Oh, come on. I'm a little busy right now. I'll get you better than 50 gold.
Nah, that's what you said last time. And I'm still sleeping on the streets.
They
I lost
stole
my house. I
bed.
lost my wife. 'Cause of you.
You want my apartment? You can have my apartment.
And you see that he steps towards you and he's like red. He's angry and you see his fists are clenching and he starts to loom over you. He puts a hand on your shoulder and it grips tight and he leans in close and he starts to like menace and growl in your face. And then you hear and he goes, "Oh, what the fuck is that?" And he falls backwards. His eyes roll into the back of his head. And as he lands, there's a splash as he hits a puddle. And you see beyond, silhouetted in the light of the alley, a small figure, jester's hat, sat atop, burning bright eyes as he just goes,
Thank you, honey, but did you kill him?
You lean down and you hear him softly snoring.
Okay.
What? Not dead?
You're such a good boy. Let's go
And
get you
you
a
watch
treat.
as Piddlewick pulls out a club from his belt and moves towards the man and raises it.
No. No. Let's go back to the others.
Uh-huh.
No. No. No.
He puts it back in his belt.
We'll get him a special present when we're done with all these other chores. You know how I am. It just slipped my mind to pay him back the 50 gold.
And then his little metal hand comes up and takes yours.
Okay. I can't really leave the guy a note. I'll just put my keys to my apartment in his pocket.
Okay. Okay, give me a second. You now have a Piddlewick.
Yay!
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Your
He's a
son
good
can kill
boy.
people now.
Yay! What a good boy. Whoa. He's a tough boy.
Who is the character here, Meryl or Piddlewick?
Who
has PC stats more?
Who's better?
Piddlewick's stats are better than Meryl's.
They are not. Some of them are.
But it's not long before Meryl rejoins you, and you see she's being led along by Piddlewick, who is going this, and you see he's actually going.
It sings, Kerchuk. It sings now.
And as you guys stop to make your next move, that's when we're going to go to a quick break. We'll be back soon.
Bye bye.
Hey, welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us with that brief break. We are back. The crew are assembled outside the Blue Water Inn. You can see people are making their way towards the town. I'll start that sentence again. People are making their way towards the town square. You can hear now cheers and whoa, woo happening from quite a way away. The sound is being carried. What would you like to do?
Is there any way we can get out of this town before the festivities start?
Is there also a way we can get Arena out of the town before?
I think she'll be safe with the Madicals.
Yeah, Arena is still in the inn.
Right.
Danica said that she would get Arena out with the latest shipment next
Okay.
time Owen leaves.
Bring her in a barrel of wine.
I mean, if he comes here tonight,
Doubt you will.
what's the throne for? I mean,
Right, oh, you mean, I thought you meant to the Blue Water Inn.
well, if he comes to town, won't he know? I don't know what vampires do. Can he smell her? He's bitten her. Can he know where she is?
I don't think it goes that far. If he knew where she is, he could have taken her by now. But I think
He likes to make big entrances.
even if he does know where she is, he does like to play with his food.
I don't think she's food.
We can
Food in a
leave.
different sense this time, go Jack.
I just look at Piddlewick and shake my head.
You get a in response.
We can leave.
How the gates are all blocked.
Will we want to travel by cart again? Probably. And that we need to get you for that. I can get out. We can even find a way to get out, just us.
Mm.
But cart and horse, that's a different matter.
Or do we do it without cart and horse and find another way to travel?
I can shift into something that can carry many people, but
Hmm.
Or we can just enjoy the party.
we can stay for tonight, protect Arena, make sure
Yeah.
she's not on her own if he does show up.
Right, but hiding one person is easy enough. But hiding 5 is a little different. And I'd imagine that the guard may come knocking when it's time for everyone to have fun at the festival.
I can. Oh, that's when's the fit? So tonight or tomorrow? When...
Tonight.
Tonight.
Don't have that spell prepared.
Or we can leave.
How though?
I used to bounty hunt around here. You think I don't have secrets?
Plenty of
Ways-
secrets. We're terrified of them all.
Are you
Ways to
saying
get-
you have a way out?
In and out? Yes.
Will it fit a cart as well, or just us?
DM.
It would just be you. It's like one of the logs of the palisade you can move.
How much longer would it take travel time to be on foot versus...
Significantly. Well,
Okay.
I suppose carts don't go that fast.
Right, it was a 1-horse cart as well.
Yeah. So it would increase it a little bit, but not like
I can
a
do
huge amount.
giant stag for a couple of hours at least.
Mm.
Piddlewick can carry me.
He's not that strong.
I don't know, I think we're sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place here.
Mm. There might even be a chance to get horses while we're on the outside. Is there any outside stables beyond the gate? Or
No, you know with Vallaki that this place is very much contained within the walls.
Right.
It's a very defensive kind of place.
Similar to most big settlements in Barovia, right?
Mm-hmm. It's very much to keep the monsters out.
We could try and convince one of the guards.
We
Uh,
could.
Do
I
you have
feel like the convincing will turn into.
Yes, well, I do have a way of enhancing the ability to convince.
I could just get rid of a guard for a minute.
How?
You don't want to know. They won't die.
No, I do.
They
We've
won't
had-
die. They will just go somewhere else for a bit.
Wouldn't
I
they
can get
alarm?
rid of the guards for a minute.
I mean, if they don't see us, they won't see us do it. But they will know that he's gone somewhere else. He's not incapacitated while he does it.
Piddlewink can get rid of the guards for a minute.
Can he do it in a way which doesn't leave a trail, though?
What do you mean trail?
As in, when the guard wakes back up knowing someone has gone. Knowing that that he fell asleep. Or was otherwise incapacitated.
I think they'll know they fell asleep.
I could just stay here for tonight. Wait until the festivities are over and make sure we protect Arena.
Yeah, and at least if we do that, we know what happened tonight. If we're outside the city, we have no idea what actually happened at this festival.
That is true. But I'm not going to it.
Well, I don't particularly want to go to it, but I mean, at least if we're in the general vicinity, we can figure out what was going on, and if something does happen, we don't even have to hide near Arena, or just near enough to know if something kicks off.
I can be a fly on the wall, literally.
Let's do that then.
Personally, I am quite hard to hide, so I might have to hide closer by then.
If we stay away, where the three of us are a little conspicuous, but Rahal can.
I'll stay with Irina. I'll be in the room with her.
How about we stay in the room? You can go scout out what's going on in the square. Because you can turn into a little small animal. I have a shadow which dances on its own. Kerchak is great in Orcish. And Meryl is Meryl.
Good point.
And Piddlewink is Piddlewink. Oh god, it's talking to me now.
I also have, pass without a trace. If you wanted to hide in the inn.
I can do that too.
Okay,
Do I have it prepared? Is the question.
I do.
I think it was
But
with Hall and Kerchak. You actually know the Matakovs have a secret hidey room.
Oh yeah, the Matakovs have a secret hidey room.
I don't even have pass without trace, so I can't have it prepared.
Why did the lies end with you?
Not a nature domain cleric. Excuse me. Wait, what? Else have I said this a lie?
So,
But-
what's the plan, guys?
I am staying with Arena tonight. In whatever capacity is safest with Arena, and I would probably ask the Martikovs if they had anywhere safe that we could stay for the night to make sure that they aren't seen.
If anyone wants to come with me scouting out the place, there is an option.
What's
Polymorph
the option?
for an hour. You
I mean,
wanna be I don't know, something wolf-like, perhaps.
I don't know. I feel like that might be a bit conspicuous.
Wolf-like, dear. I mean a dog.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Big, shaggy, grey one. So, like,
Yeah.
bearded collie, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
What about
okay
you,
with
Meryl?
I'm gonna go to the party.
Oh, jeez.
Nice.
Split the party!
Woo! That's like split. It's a three-way split. This is quite. It's quite impressive. Good job, guys.
It's a
So,
mess.
is there anything that you guys want to do before evening?
We die. Yeah.
In terms of equipment, what did
Mhm.
Arena actually have in terms of like weapons? Because I remember like passing things around, but
She has
She
Does
has
she
a
actually have-
long sword and she has a breastplate.
oh, okay.
It's pretty decent, yeah, to be fair.
Mm,
I have a bottle of vodka.
nice.
Before the harrowing lot. Actually, no, I don't have that prepared. Never mind. Of course, I don't know Vulgus. Never mind.
Yeah, no. I just wondered if we needed to get her anything before things kicked off, but if she seems alright, she's fine.
All right then. So, you, Vulgus, with the Martikovs, you head towards their panic room, as it were, that they have set up in the basement of their tavern. And Irina has been here before. She knows the score. And it's not the most comfortable of places. It is essentially a secret room in a cellar, so it's cold. But there's blankets provided, and the Martikovs have left you with plenty of food and water. And they give profuse apologies, but they do have to attend the ceremony, so the tavern will be locked.
Yeah.
And you'll be locked inside.
I can produce smokeless fire with thaumaturgy anyway to warm it up.
Okie dokie. Meryl,
Not suffocators.
are you just heading? Are you just swanning into the town square, all Meryl-like, or are you gonna like stick to the shadows, or what are you doing? Because it's important to remember, you weren't particularly visible on the night of the whole event as it kicked off. You weren't with the original party when they killed Ezek.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm fine just to walk around because people
Yeah.
in town already know me.
Yep. Okay,
Whether or
Rahal.
not
Oh.
they like me is a different thing.
You get a couple of hey Meryls and a couple of like shitty glances from some people, but you just you go unimpeded.
You know who else knows exactly what Meryl looks like? Who met Meryl, had a conversation with Meryl, was hit on by Meryl.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
fine.
It's
I'll
gonna be
just have
fine.
to. I'll hit on him again.
Okay.
Play for your new character.
The Queen of Barovia, if this seduction works.
Roll for seduction. So, Meryl is heading into the town square, and you can see now that things have really kicked up. There's dancers, there's music being played, there's food going around. There's lots of food going around. You get the feeling that Lady Vakta has spent quite a lot on these festivities. She has spared no expense. Kerchak and Rahal, what are you guys doing? Where are you going?
Well, I'm deferring to Rahal for our transformation.
Well, I would say we'll check it out for an hour, being stray dogs.
Okay.
Try not to get kicked.
I will
And-
make me a big enough dog, and I'll.
In fact-
anyone would like to try.
In fact, there will be a link in chat as to what we look like. Because I'm gonna be Tara, and you're going to be Aaron, and these are my dogs, and they're
I'm perfectly okay with that.
So, Rahal and Kerchak turn into a pair of street dogs. Not as nice looking in that picture. They're a bit more raggedy to fit in with the aesthetic. Kerchak looks like his coat needs a good brushing.
Does.
But you make your way into the town square and mingle amongst the crowd. And at this point, while preparations have been made, things are starting to get darker now, and torches and lanterns are being lit. And it makes like the bunting and the flags like glow in an eerie sort of manner, and there's a whole sort of, it's a festive atmosphere, but everything's like so dark in tone that it's like a rowdy wake almost. It's an interesting sensation, an interesting feel. But before long, the guards create space in front of the stage. They push everybody back. And a a black carriage drawn by two beautiful, tall, black horses with shiny coats trots into the square. There is no coach driver. This carriage is a beautiful black lacquer, and it's highly polished, and the fixtures are gleaming silver. And the door swings open, and a man steps out, wearing a traveling cloak and a hat upon his head. And he kind of briefly glances at the crowd as he steps down and reaches back in and offers a hand. And you, Rahal, I need you to roll me a perception check.
That is a 10 plus 8, 18.
18. Okay, you watch as a female hand goes out and takes it, wearing a ring. You recognize this ring. It was the ring worn by Lady Jacqueline Montari. So she steps out of the carriage.
The haughty noble that was
Yeah,
hunted.
yeah, I know.
You watch as a woman steps out of the carriage, and she's wearing very fine clothes, a beautiful dress, and as you make your way up her form, it's a beautiful black dress, embroidered. There's frills and lace on it in all the good places, not the horrendous 80s places. And she's wearing the same black ribbon around her neck. But that's not her face. Her skin is too dark. She was dark-haired. This is a red-headed woman. She has blue eyes. Lady Montari didn't have blue eyes. And she steps down and she smiles and she bows slightly. And Fiona Vakta makes her way through the crowd. And you hear her say, welcome to Vallaki. Welcome. And at this point, the gentleman turns around and removes his hat. It is not Strahd. It's a man none of you are familiar with. He removes his hat and he bows before Lady Vakta and he says, "My apologies. My master was unable to attend the event. He sent me in his stead." And he goes,
Hey, butler.
"Vasily von Holtz at your service, my lady." And she sort of, you see Fiona Vakta's shoulders like drop a moment. And she pulls herself back together. She goes, you always know it's a long shot inviting the Lord of the Land to your celebration. But regardless, Lord von Holtz, please. And she leads him away for a moment, and they head towards a tent that's been set up that has guards stationed outside it. And he takes the hand of the woman, and they are led into the tent. Anything you want to do? Meryl, you've seen this happen too. Meryl, you know that that's Strahd's carriage, though. You've seen it before. Only in passing, but that's his carriage.
All I want to do is untie that ribbon. But I don't think I'm equipped to do that right now. But I will think about it.
Is there any way? Sorry.
Can I see the two doggies near me? Or where are the doggies walking around?
I don't know. Where are you guys walking around?
As close as we can, well, as close as I can get, and yeah, been able to see and hear, but obviously, I imagine there's quite a lot of a crowd, so it'd be hard for a dog to get through.
Mm.
I imagine what you guys would be doing is like weaving through the crowd, but like going back and keeping, contact with each other just to make sure you don't lose each other and that you're all safe. Yeah.
Try a back door sort of the tent, some area where maybe items are being passed through, preparations where servants go in and out.
Mm-hmm.
Or we might be able to slip through and hide under tables.
Yeah. Okay. Roll me a stealth check.
As dogs.
Yeah.
Stealthy pups.
What stats are we using?
It's physical stats for the animal,
Right.
So
I can only find a mastiff. A wild-
That's all I could find.
just
wild
use the
dog.
mastiff, yeah.
Yeah, Mastiff is dog. Ordinary dog is like CR -1.
Oh, dude. I should be a mastiff more often. It's lucky for my rolls. Okay, so how would I work out the stealth then for that?
I think it's just plus Dex.
Yeah.
For me,
okay
that's
then.
11.
That'd be 21 for me.
21. Okay. So, you spot a couple of servants go in with wine glasses on trays and some like cheese and grapes and like a little posh people's platter. I don't know what posh people eat. And you see them going in, and you both make a dart to go in under their legs unseen. Rahal, unfortunately, you catch the leg of one of the servers and the tray tips a little bit, and they do manage to maintain and not spill the wine. But unfortunately, you are unceremoniously booted out of the way and out of the tent. Kerchak, you use this moment to your advantage and you duck in very quickly under the fold of the tent and get to an area where you can just sort of peek in. And you see, seated on a series of chairs that have been set up, you see Fiona Vactor, and she's sat there and she's very nervously wringing her hands in her lap. And you see Vasily von Holtz sat there, and he's very stoic. He looks very much like a Barovian man, but obviously a Barovian man who has the wealth and time to take care of himself. He doesn't look as browbeaten as most Barovians do, but he still very much looks of this land. And the lady is sat there, and she'll every now and then she touches Vasily's knee, and she'll like at one of his jokes, and she sat there and more of just, idle chatter they're doing. But Fiona says, excuse me for asking, Mr. von Holtz, why can't the Count attend my function? And he says, the Count has other matters to attend to, my lady. My apologies. He did not have the time or desire to come to one of your functions. Other matters draw his attention. And you see her sort of look away, and she sighs and she says, "Oh, I understand. So, Mr. von Holtz, I don't believe I've heard of your family name before. Are you from Barovia? The Vactors have been aligned with the von Zoroviches from before I was even born." And he says, "Yes, madam, we are an ancient family in service to the von Zoroviches." And he's just giving her like super just deadpan, like, "You are boring me, woman," answers. And she's fawning over him. She's like, she's trying to ply him with wine and food, and she's being overly complimentary. And after a moment of time, he just puts his hand up. He says, "Silence, woman. Are we going to go outside at any point, or shall we get on with it? I have matters to attend to myself." And she very visibly bites her tongue. She's clearly not used to people talking to her in this manner. And you see that the lady sat with him, the red-headed woman, she is smirking visibly, and she has a fan that she's kind of trying to hide it by, but at the angle you're at, Kerchak, you can see that she is enjoying this. She is having a whale of a time watching this woman be embarrassed. And you see her lean in, and she says to him, she says, "Oh, Vasily, dear, be nice to the lady. She's invited us to our party. Let's go have fun, huh?" And you see her kiss him on his cheek, and he sort of recoils for a second. Before he goes, "Yes, my dear. Shall we?" And so he stands, and the ladies stand, and they head outside once more. And they begin to make their way to the stage. Is there anything you want to do?
Is there any food store near me?
Yeah, there's like there's where the servants were like gathering stuff to put out, so there is food there.
Yeah, I'd like to just rummage, pick off whatever was on the top, and sort of try and sneak back out, but make it look as though that's what I was doing the entire time.
All right, yeah. So you find grapes, like red grapes, and you find like
Poisonous for dogs.
Oh, okay, you don't eat grapes. You find like meat and stuff in gravy that you know will make a mess, and you like shove your face in it and make sure it's all over you, and you trot back out triumphantly, and you get a few calls of, "Hey, oh, that fucking dog!"
Yeah, and I go back out, and if Rahal's still there, meet up with Rahal. If not, work my way around to see where they went.
Yep. Meryl, what would you like to be doing during this whole sort of thing? Is there anything in particular you want to do?
No, I just want to say hi to various people in the city and walk around, see what intelligence I can gather with my limited intelligence. Like, do I hear any interesting rumors or anything like that?
As you're walking around, you hear mumblings and talkings of, like, for example, no one has seen the Vallakoviches since Fiona Vukta sees control. She's not even seen the children, haven't seen the wife. They've disappeared. Their house appears to be empty. No one knows where they've gone. You hear a couple of children talking about heroes that saved the town, and the night that the sun was on fire. You hear stories of a huge man that ripped Ezek Strasny piece from piece in front of everybody and danced in his blood. You hear other people talking about this woman that can turn into animals, and she's monstrous and terrifying, but she's a hero. She saved them from the tyrannical rule of the Vallakoviches. But most of all, you hear people quietly mumbling that, oh, it's another festival, yay. And that this Despert's just going to be like the next one, yay, isn't that great? Keep your head down, shut up, and you won't get into trouble.
Okay. So not so much then. Do I see any of my... Nobody seems to respond to Piddlewick, right? Like, people are just sort of icked out and...
Yeah, people tend to just kind of like, look at him. But then again, they're used to Blinsky's toys, and they are usually pretty horrific. Like, one of his prized toys he made was a working gallows, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah. He's kind of macabre, so they assume it's just one of Blinsky's inventions. But the children are fascinated with Piddlewick, and you see them trying to play with him and interact with him. And he seems to be receptive to them most of the time. But he is staying very close to you.
He doesn't he doesn't have any response to the carriage or anything, right?
Actually, upon seeing the carriage, he darts behind your legs and clutches them tightly.
Okay. And then he doesn't really seem to recognize anything else, right?
No, he doesn't really pay. He doesn't like point anything out to you or like that. He's kind of he's staying very protective of you. And then once the carriage appears and he sees it, he's very like a kid that's scared, so they hide behind their parents' legs. Yeah. That's the kind of thing he's doing.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's all. I don't know. We're just gonna have a nice time at the party.
Yeah, I mean, as you go through, there's people that are, they're like, how the hell are you? Where have you been? What you been up to? You know, I haven't seen you for a while. You still owe me 10 silver, but that's okay. Next time, that kind of stuff. And
yeah,
they like drinks are given to you, food's given to you, and you just, it feels nice, just to be in a social atmosphere and just to relax for a moment.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so Vasily von Holtz, his companion, and Lady Vakta make their way up the stage. Vasily gestures towards the chair, one of the two chairs at the back, for his female companion to sit down, and she does. She struts across the stage and smooths out her skirts before she deftly places herself, looking out at the rest of the group, at the town square. And Vasily and Lady Vakta are stood at the front of the stage. And Fiona steps forth, and she says, "Citizens of Vallaki, welcome and thank you for attending my fete. I am here today to officially announce I, Fiona Vakta, am your Burgomaster." And she pauses for applause that doesn't really come before there's a sort of like from the guards, and then people go, "Ah." There's a polite applause. She says, "This is the dawning of a new age for Vallaki. No more shall we hide in fear behind our palisade walls. We will be open to one and all. We will be open to travelers, friends, our lord." And she gestures towards Vasily von Holtz, and he steps forth. He says, "Count von Zorovich apologizes that he cannot meet you all today. But he sends me in his stead to give his well wishes to the citizens of Vallaki and their new Burgomaster." And he steps back. And Fiona kind of looks at him like, "Really? Is that it?" And she's like, "So, with the blessings of the Count, and at my behest, please enjoy yourselves. Tomorrow we start the work to make Vallaki the town I know it can be. Enjoy." And at that, the music starts up again, the dances start up again, and people start talking and chatting amongst themselves once more. And she goes back and she sits on the chair, and she starts looking. She has her hands like this, and she's just watching. Oh, Stu's dying. So, anything you want to do while you're here?
Does it look like there's going to be any other like announcements or another stage to what's happening, or is this basically like, right, okay, now enjoy?
You're not entirely sure. Just roll me a perception check, all of you, if you don't mind.
What type of check? There's
Perception.
Hearing. Okay.
A visual one.
Okay.
Actually, no, you can do audio as well.
Okay. Well. Okay.
Lydia, you muted?
9.
19.
19. Okay, Kojak. Meryl? You roll me a perception check?
Natural 20.
Oh! So Kojak and Meryl, you hear just behind the stage a commotion, something dragging, something heavy. You hear the sounds of people making effort noises, like as they're trying to drag something heavy. And it sounds like it's getting closer to the stage.
Is there any way that I can get round to sort of see more of what's behind there?
Yeah. Roll me another stealth check.
11.
11. You try and make your way through, and you catch a peek of a bunch of strong-looking dudes pulling something draped in a sheet. You're not entirely sure what it is, but it appears to have a stone base, at least. And they're pulling it along like a wooden track towards the stage. But you, as you're peeking, like someone notices you and like boots you out of the way, like get.
I leave.
Yeah, okay. So How long does your animal thing work?
It's an hour.
An hour.
An hour.
Okay, it's getting towards the end of this hour. The hour is rapidly coming to an end. And Fiona looks like she is about to announce something else, but it's going to be cutting it fine.
I can stay here a bit longer, and I would have told you before that for you it's an hour. For me, it's a bit longer.
In that case, is there any sort of like alleyway or something just off where I still might be able to hear if there's an announcement, but not be in direct line of sight?
There's alleys and like doorways and little places you can hide off in the town square.
Well, in that case, I'll sort of wait by one of them just in case it gets right on the hour. I'll pop around there and poof out.
Okay.
Otherwise, stay around.
Okay, and you will have noticed during this entire time, Fiona seems somewhat distracted. She's there enjoying, she's drinking, she's eating, she's chatting to Vasily, who seems to be but she's also like summoning people up on stage and talking to them and trying to get a handle on it. And she summons one person up on stage and they whisper something in her ear and her expression brightens. And she steps forth and she dings her fork against her glass, which in a very crowded town square achieves not a lot before one of her guys goes, "Oi, quiet!" And the place drops silent. And she says, "I'm pleased to announce that our new monument has been constructed. No longer will we have to look at the mess that the Vallakoviches left in the fountain. I have a replacement. Boys," and she gestures off to the stage, and a couple of like burly boys drag this thing out onto the stage, and it's large. And it's covered by a sheet, like a big elaborate sheet. And she says, "Mr. Von Holtz, if you would do me the honors." And he pulls it off. And you see that on the stage is a large stone statue of a burning sun. And she says, "In honor of the heroes of Vallaki who rescued us from tyranny, I present to you the burning sun, and may their suns burn evermore. 3 cheers for the heroes of Vallaki." And they cheer, the crowd cheers. She says, "This statue shall live in the fountain, the place where their revolution took hold. And we shall remember them." She says, "Unfortunately, they couldn't be with us today to give them the hero's welcome they so deserve."
We're gonna kill her at some point, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, she's
Alright.
on the list somewhere.
Yeah.
And then she steps forth, the
Same.
final thing she says, "May this statue stand as testament to their heroic deeds and inspire us all. Thank you." And she steps back. And the statue is left there on the stage. It's not removed, and it stays there. At this point, you notice that the lady, the red-headed lady with Vasily von Holtz, has since left the stage.
She going back into the tent, or
She certainly has.
I want to try to get in again. Other entrance. Follow her.
Okay, roll me a stealth check.
Come on.
Better. That was a 16.
16? Okay, that's pretty good. So you find your way you go around the back where it's less guarded. It's butting up against a wall, so, you know, they haven't stationed anyone there, and you nuzzle your way underneath, and you make your way into the back of the tent, and you get you can't quite see her from the front, you're kind of at the back, but she's sat there, and she appears to be fixing her hair, and she's adjusting the ribbon, And you see her like almost undo it, but she seems to be just tightening it behind her neck. She's adjusting herself. And she's stretching her neck a lot. She seems to be relaxing.
Just want to hide somewhere here, see what she's doing.
Mhm.
She's living again.
10 gold says there's vampire bites underneath that.
I mean, yeah, but it's not like I'm like, you know.
Okay.
No, it's a different head.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a different head. I was gonna be like stitching.
Oh, that's a good
It's
one.
It's an option.
Yeah, it's stitching. It just falls off if you pull off the ribbon.
Well, that's how very telltale of you.
Oh, well, you are here hidden. Meryl, you notice about 10 minutes after the woman disappears, Lord von Holtz makes his excuses and heads off the stage into this small tent.
Mm,
And Rahal, you watch as he comes in, and he throws his coat off to the side, and he's, oh, how terribly droll. These functions bore me. And the voice you hear, Rahal, is not the voice you heard. This voice is very familiar to you. This voice has spoken to you before.
Thought it was Von Holtz, but it was me, Strahd.
He's still wearing the face of a different man, but he sounds just like Strahd.
I resist the urge to growl because that would be dumb.
And he moves his way over to the woman in the chair and he goes, "You have been taking liberties today, my dear." And she says, "Oh, Strahd, darling, can't I have a little fun? Besides, how long has it been since you've had a little kiss on the cheek, huh? Still pining after that woman, are we? And I thought this beautiful redhead would do. Oh well." And you see her reach behind, and she does the ribbon, and you watch as her head just falls off into her lap.
I can see you, Marissa. The 10 gold is in the mail.
And
Thank you.
the voice in her lap says, "Do me a favor, dear. Pass me the other one. I'm so bored of this one."
I'm so-
And Strahd reaches into her chest. And he goes, and he pulls out a head. And it's the same dark-haired woman as you met at the side of the road. He says, he holds it up. Where did you get this one? And she says, as he places it on her shoulders and she fastens the ribbon, she says, "I don't quite remember. It was decades ago, though. She was a runner. It was thrilling. I chased her through marshland. I remember that clearly. Brave. Fighter to the end, that one. It was a challenge not to mar that pretty face, though. I mean, my pretty face. Wouldn't you agree, dear?" And at this point, Strahd sort of leans behind her, and he whispers something, and he's very close, and you can see, like, she sort of shudders because he's gotten very close to her, and his lips linger for a second on her neck before he pulls away and chuckles. You're muted.
With the keen hearing, can I try and see what he says?
Roll me a perception check.
With the hearing, it would be an advantage, but is
Yeah.
it a straight one?
Yeah,
or-
just do it as advantage.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Not my day. That's just a 7.
Just a 7. You can't quite make it out, but by her visible reaction, it was either bone-chillingly terrifying or quite saucy.
Both? Both.
Both.
Both is good. I mean, both.
Well done.
Yeah, I don't move. I'm like hoping they haven't noticed me. I'm just dog-lying somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
pretending.
And they're, they sit and they have idle chatter. They're talking about, how long will this one last? And she says, like, I can't believe you're letting this charade happen, Strahd. How long before you destroy her? And, you can see that he's getting, like, visibly frustrated. She's needling at his ego. She is, like, jabbing him. Oh, so much for the brave and powerful Strahd von Zarovich, being paraded like a puppet by a mere peasant. That kind of stuff. She's, like, needling at him. You can see he's getting frustrated, and his fists are clenching. And he snaps at her, orders her to be silent. Before he storms out of the tent. And she just sort of laughs to herself before she drinks of her wine and just spends the time there just relaxing.
Yeah. I'll stay in there for the remainder. I'm not going to try and move away. I hope that's someone else outside.
All right. What are the rest of you doing?
Well, I was kind of in the wings. I'd hang around even when transformed back for a little while, trying to stay out of sight with the whole like Heroes of Vallaki thing. Just wait for, I don't know, like 20 minutes to half an hour. If nothing else happens, head back to the inn.
Okay, yeah. Roll me a stealth check just to see how well you remain obscured.
It's back to my stats now. 12.
12. Okay. You sort of, keep to the shadows and you try and stay as hidden as you can, but a child notices you. And you recognize this as the kid you told about killing Ezek. This is the kid you told to spread amongst his friends. And he looks at you and goes, oh, you're back.
Just keep walking.
Okay, and you just see him like, oh. And he nods. And he just kind of stands and watches you leave as you like sneak off. Meryl.
I like mope and elbow the person next to me and said I did that.
You did what?
Oh, that stupid sun shit.
You did that?
Yeah.
Oh shit, really?
Ugh. No one in this town ever believes me, and I mope off.
I think you, as you leave, like, you see this person go, she says she did that. Do you believe that? And this bloke's like, nah, fucking no way. It's like, no, really, she said she did. You seen her? And you just hear sort of mutterings as you walk away. Is there anything you wanted to do, Volgus, while the others were away?
I'm in a very small room.
You are in a very small room. It's quite claustrophobic.
Actually.
Uh-oh.
I have an idea.
Uh-oh.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Well,
Danger of Will Robinson.
that's that one. I can do that, and then that one. Yep.
Get back to the tavern. Irina has been murdered. Turns out Volgus was Strahd all along.
Okay, so I'm gonna spend a bit of time doing some protective stuff.
Okay.
So, first, I am going to make an augury, ritual cast augury. Take out some finger bones I've got in my bag, standard Barovian.
Just as you do, keep them around.
Yeah. And then I'm rolling them out and casting augury and asking, is the festival dangerous?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
And it says, say wheel or woe. Yeah, or both. Yeah, it's woe. Okay. Just going to do that again. I'm just going to
Same
say,
answer.
is going to the swamp dangerous?
Whoa.
Will what we're doing, and obviously I don't have to say this out loud, so it just Arena just sees me rolling a bunch of fingers. Is leaving Arena here safe?
Wheel.
Okay, and then I finish it all off by casting Glyph of Warding on the space in front of the door, so that anyone who walks through the door gets hit with a 4th level fireball.
You are aware that this little hidey room is very small, and a fireball will get you and Arena.
Okay then, fine. Instead, let's go with a banishment.
Okay.
Actually, no, a wall of fire. Yeah.
Wall of fire. Okay.
Wall of fire. Yeah. In fact, how long are they gone?
They're gone for quite a few hours.
Okay, wall of fire and a banishment.
Good to know. Anyone, you say?
No. Strahd or agents of Strahd?
Gotcha.
Or undead, excluding Visoka, although she's a flesh golem, it's a construct and not undead. Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out how banishment and wall of fire activating at the same time would work.
I'm putting the banishment behind the wall of fire.
Okay.
So you're strong enough to not get scorched earth by the wall of fire. You disappear into another plane of existence.
You're on fire. Get out of here.
Because I was just picturing it as like they both happen at the same time. It's really flashy, but it doesn't actually damage the person that
It sets them on fire and then puts them in an area with no water for a minute where they're incapacitated.
Oh, God. All right. So, it's starting to get very dark now, Rahal, and the festival is winding up. You hear less and less people, and you see that the woman in the room, Ms. Montari, has apparently fallen asleep.
Yeah.
She is dozing lightly. There's like a chaise longue in here that she's lounged upon, and she's dozing asleep. No one else has entered this tent since.
I will have a look around doing dog-like things, as in looking for food.
Okay.
As no person is here, just come out on the table. Try still not to wake her, like.
Mm-hmm.
But then, if there's no food around, just leave.
Okay.
Is there a strange smell to her? Does she smell rotten in any
No.
way?
No, she smells perfumed. But not even like perfume masking rot. She just smells clean and perfumed.
Is this perfume formaldehyde?
No,
Formaldehyde by Calvin Klein.
no. It's a very rich, musky perfume, though. It's an
Oh,
overwhelming, like...
Diesel. Yeah.
Women don't...
Just...
Actually, roll me an investigation check.
Ooh, 16 plus. What's investigation based on?
Intelligence?
Is it?
I think so.
Investigation is intelligence,
Yeah.
yes. It's...
I have my own for that, right?
Yes. I've only been playing this game for years. You think I'd know this?
17.
17, okay. As you're snooping around for food, you notice that the chest that Strahd had plucked the woman's head from has been left open.
I look inside.
You peek inside and you see a collection of heads. All of young women. Of varying skin colours, hair colours, eye colours. All staring blankly back at you.
Is there just one, like, long bearded old man in there as well?
And tucked into the corner, you see what appears to be a bundle of letters that are
Could I
bound in
try-
a black ribbon.
And take out the letters.
Yeah, you certainly can. You reach down, you pull them out and out of the trunk and drop it down, and you see on the front of the first letter, Rahal, written in a fine, elegant script.
I look around real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Are the letters closed? Like, are they sealed?
Yes. All have wax seals, bearing a very familiar crest.
Grab the
Oh.
bundle and run.
It's for me anyway, so I'm taking it.
It's a bunch of letters. There's
They're all for me now
5.
because I have them.
Okay, they are yours now. You have the letters.
And I try and get my way not through the crowd so they don't
Mhm.
wonder why a dog has letters.
Okay,
The
Into-
best postal service.
Yeah, better than the UK one. Anyway,
you tired.
Royal Mail. Don't at
I
me.
mean, you're not wrong, but
I'll get into the try and get into the alleyway where I last saw Karchek.
okay. So you sneak your way through there, and Kerchak is nowhere to be seen. You
I-
actually see a gobsmacked child just kind of like,
Can I sniff? Can I see if he was there just
yes,
a second ago?
you smell odor, Kerchak.
Oh, to Karchak. Lovely. I'll follow the O.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's a good kind of musk, okay? It's not terrible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you, Kerchak, are you making your way back to the inn?
Yes.
Okay, so that's where Kerchak's scent is leading. You all sort of converge upon the inn to find it is open once more. Danica and Erwin are back, and that Erwin has shirked off his fancy jacket and he's complaining that it was stiff and uncomfortable. And Danica's just like, I'm wearing a fucking corset. Don't talk to me about jackets. And they're having like a little tiff.
Does Danica's dress have pockets?
Of course it does.
Yes.
Has a bustle as well, which is less helpful, but looks very cool.
I don't know what a bustle is.
It's the bit at the back that goes.
Oh, is it? It's like.
It's like
Yeah.
just like your bum bit, and it all
Yeah.
cascades down. It's very pretty and very unpractical.
Makes you waddle when you walk.
No,
No,
no.
I've never seen anyone wearing a bustle. What is this? The
It
17th?
doesn't go between your legs.
Well, I know
It
that,
goes at the back. It makes you look like you got a big bum.
right? But if that is unbalanced, you're not going to walk properly.
No, it's fine to wear. They're cute.
They are very cute.
I'll take your word for it. You know better than I.
So you arrive back at the tavern, and everybody you see as well. They let you know, Volgus, that it's safe to come up.
Okay, I come up.
Okay. And you watch as Rahal wanders in as a dog with some paper in her mouth.
I transform back into my smelly old self and look at the letters, see if they all have what I think is going to be all of our names.
You watch as Rahal comes in as a dog and she sits down, and as she does, she transforms back into a human self with the letters in her mouth before she goes and pulls out undoes the ribbon. And you look, Rahal, Kerchak,
Fucking
Volgus,
called it. Called it.
Meryl,
Called it.
Irina.
Ah, of course, fuck's sake. I open my own. Are the others there? Right now.
Yeah, I think they're all there.
I'll have been in the.
I'll
mid
just
bit.
frisbee them to everyone. There you go. There you go. There you go.
I'm going to guess that these are our dinner invitations.
Probably. They're going to be
Okay.
very smarmy, very tacky, and I'm going to want to punch him in the face more than I already do.
I hope there's a menu.
Okay,
I
you
think
should
that's us.
find these popping up in your handouts. I just want to say props, huge thank you to Jason, Nightlife Knight, who actually wrote these. Our Strahd von Zarovich wrote these for you all. So you can't blame me for these letters.
Now the bit where we all just read.
So you all stand and read your letters. A silence hangs in the air.
Very
I
well
don't
done,
remember.
Strahd.
Am I literate?
That's a bloody good
I
question.
don't know. What's your
I
intelligence?
forgot.
What is your intelligence?
7.
Yeah, barely.
By rules, 7 is not.
Really? I thought it was like
Okay.
6 that was illiterate.
Actually, no, that's Pathfinder, so maybe not. But I don't know. I guess it's up to you, Marissa.
Yeah, it's up to you. Do you want Meryl to be literate? Because, I mean, you could always get someone else to read it to you.
Yeah, I don't think she's literate.
Okay.
I mean, like, maybe I can pick out some words. I think they're all really mean, and I don't want any of these people to be mean to me about not being able to read. So I'm gonna pretend like I'm reading it.
Okay. I mean, there are some nice people here. Danica and Owen have been nice. Irina's nice.
I wouldn't say I'm entirely terrible.
No, I think she'll just hide it for now.
Okay. Did you give Irina's letter to Irina? Is the question.
If it was handed to me to give to her, the answer is no.
If Irina's not there, I will only give the letters to whoever they are addressed to.
She had joined you upstairs.
I will ask, do you want yours? You know what he's like.
I do. Let me read it. I'm not scared of him anymore.
I hand it to her.
Okay. Oops, I need to find it. I haven't got that one open. And you watch as she reads through her letter, her hands shake as she reads it. And she looks at it, and you see she's crying a little bit. And you get the feeling that this is not so much Irina reading this, but the memories of Tatiana and all this so much. And she takes a moment and she folds it up. She looks at you. And you see she's been crying.
I reach out my hand and I produce flame and hold it out as a choice for her.
She takes a moment and then she puts it in the fire and it begins to burn. And you see as she just watches it turn to ash. Good. Good.
I close my hand and let the ash drip to the ground. Bastard.
Yeah. I think the worst thing. It was sad. It was regretful.
The abuser never regrets. They just feign it.
Well,
No. I hope he is sad. I hope he regrets everything, and I hope he lives with that forever. I hope what he wrote is true. And I hope that it eats him. But it won't have me. And she just reaches behind the bar and she takes some vodka and just... And Danica, as you know, she's patting her shoulder gently. What about the rest of you?
I'm keeping mine.
I'm keeping mine too.
Full of inaccuracies.
Such a chatty bunch.
Did he sign all of yours with "ever your superior"?
No.
Yeah.
Ever the land.
Ever your reminder.
Ah.
I'm gonna go to say yes, and I see everybody else says no. I go, no.
Oh, Meryl.
The sweetest thing. Can Piddlewick read? I mean, he can't read it out loud, but just curious.
No, Piddlewick cannot read.
Okay.
Tragically.
Well, seems my lord is more melodramatic than I first thought.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Thinks a lot of himself.
Does, and assumes other people's points of views. You can't say that I assume other people's points of views. I only assume mine.
You just assumed that I assumed.
I saw your face. That wasn't an assumption.
Assuming I care. That's all. That was my entire input.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway,
Well, it didn't seem to be an invitation.
what happened at the event? Was it as thrilling as I imagined?
Oh, I am no longer. Is Vasilka in the room?
No.
You know how he said the whole flesh golem thing wouldn't entice him? No longer quite so sure.
Oh, why is that?
Because he had, I want to say, an IKEA shelf. There's an IKEA in this world. I think, yeah, I don't know if her name was Billy, but some assembly required.
Was there stitching? Was she required to be stitched back
A
together?
ribbon. I think it was more magic than craftsmanship, but there were a couple of heads.
Do I know anything about any particular creature that would have that sort of ability?
Nope.
No. Stuart does.
Oh,
Stuart has ground on WoW for many, many years to try and get the horse of that particular character.
well, I tell them about the heads and that it was the huntress we met in the forest. Perhaps she was hunting for fresh heads that day. I don't know.
Yeah. Now I'm just trying to figure out how I'd kill her.
And of course, that Van Holtz was actually a Strahd.
Oh,
Oh, so he is here.
Oh yeah,
I
Great.
expected he'd show up.
of course you did.
Well, now Strahd and the huntress woman, just before you snuck in, the first time, yeah, they really didn't like Fiona.
The pawn in their game.
Definitely. Yeah, she didn't. They didn't quite like the idea of her calling them out.
From what
Oh.
we've seen of Strahd as well, I think this huntress is also a pawn to him.
Everyone's a pawn to him.
I don't think he allows members of his court. No knights or rooks for him. Certainly not a bishop.
Maybe an abbot.
Wanted to be here, but he did not want to grant Fiona the honor and the knighthood, if you will, of his presence.
Keep them mewling. Keeps them subservient. Well, you'll probably be off soon, I'd imagine. As it stands, I don't think there's any further threat to us.
I'll find out.
I'd like you all to roll a perception check, please.
Everyone.
Everyone.
Oh god, a lot.
Can I,
Not a lot.
what is it based on?
Audio.
That's a nice 10 from me.
Come on, Dark Powers, come on.
27?
You sold your soul for this?
Hey!
Just a 4 for me.
21.
Okay. Meryl, you are too preoccupied with trying to pass together what that letter is. What did you get, Volgus?
27.
20. Jesus. And Kochak?
10.
Okay. Kochak, you are still contemplating what's in that letter. You're chewing it over a little bit.
I mean, he said I was strong, but then everything else was just so inaccurate.
Rahal and Volgus, you hear hoofbeats and the wheels of a carriage, and you hear it creak to a stop outside the front of the Blue Water Inn. You hear the opening of a carriage door, the steps descending.
Get her away. Get her away.
You hear
I take
footprints.
Volgus into Volgus? I am Volgus. I take Arena into the cellar.
Okay.
So alarm Karchik smash. Maybe someone coming.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
Meryl.
Volgus, you grab Irina's hand and you start to bring her downstairs once more to the basement. Rahal, you alert Kerchak and Meryl that something's afoot. Danica looks perplexed for a moment as the door swings open, and you see, in disguise, Vasily von Holtz, Strahd von Zarovich, say, "My good woman, I would require a room for the night." And that's where we'll end it tonight.
Fuck's sake.
Ah. God damn it.
I wanna flame him to the face.
So another session of Bike Club done.
Good job I'm not claustrophobic.
Spending a lot of time in that cellar.
Yeah, well. I have more third level spell slots, so I'll just make Morgless floating on the door.
Just booby trap him.
Anyone who steps through that door is going to be hit by about 15 different spells.
Oh boy. So yeah, good game, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I mean, half of that was talking you to yourself.
I know, I love that. Was now
but
we know how.
I was like, yeah, what's happening
Now I
now?
know how Mercer felt in Bits of Crit Roll, where he's like 20 minutes talking to himself, and I'm just like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Like a lull in the conversation. I'm like, shit, it's me. I'm on.
It's like a one-man band.
But yeah, once again, thank you very much to Jason or Nightlife Night for those letters. They were great.
Man.
Very Strahd.
Yes, incredibly Strahd-esque. And if you guys are okay with that, I might pop them on Twitter.
Sure.
Yeah.
So the guys can see. Obviously, if you folks here don't want to know what's in the letter, don't read them. But the brilliance needs to be shared. I'll pop them on there. But thank you very much to everybody who watched, followed, lurked, chatted, and it was just really cool for tuning in. Thank you all so much for that. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hello, we love you. That's it for us then tonight, I think. Unless there's anything else anybody wants to say.
No.
No, I'm good.
I'm sorry for my work clicky clackies. I'll try to figure out how to stop doing those.
You just need to stop working forever.
Oh God, no.
Wow, that escalated quickly.
Yeah, right? Who's the evil DM here? But yeah, so that's it for us.
Jamie.
Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we will catch you next time on Bike Club. Bye-bye!
Bye.